Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm going to pick up, I guess, really on a topic that I started in the last video, and that is in reference really to it being this year being an election year, and now as of last Friday, candidates for this year's election season, which is for Pittsfield City Council and Pittsfield School Committee, and I think the city clerk. There might be a few other things, but those are the big things that is on the election. That might be all of it too, but it's the city council, school committee, and I believe city clerk. And anyway, candidates have been coming out, polling papers. The season has kicked off, so we know there's quite a few that are official that have announced. Some of the incumbents that have announced they're definitely running for re-election, Councilor Cohen being one of them. And I'm going to touch on that. But before I do, one of the other things I talked about on there in regards to the city council elections was Councilor Connell being a senior citizen and him leaving the council. And I said that will be... There'll no longer be a peer to our senior citizen community on the city council. And our senior citizen community is the largest voter block in the city and one of the largest population blocks. So, and so I basically said, in my opinion, it's a form of ageism. And I wasn't just throwing a ism out there to do it. I really meant that. So... one person, I think his name is David, he left a comment, and it was a valid comment. And he said, I don't personally, basically what he was saying was he doesn't care about age. That's not of an issue to him. He just wants good representation. And I do agree with that. But I guess here's really what I meant and why I kind of stand behind what I said. When you're looking at the political landscape, you know, each level of government and politics is different. So the bottom of that poll, and I don't mean bottom as in a bad thing, of the government poll, though, would be like selectmen, city councilors, town aldermen, those type of positions. And what makes them different than, say, state government or federal government is when you're taking an issue on a federal or state level, generally you are looking at overall statistics and you're looking for a median outcome that goes with what the majority wants. And when you're dealing with government on a federal level, it's like that. You're not saying, oh, Bob or Mary here, or Joe over here, or Tamika over here, or Steve here, or any of that. It is solely based off of graphs and charts and overall, because you couldn't get into individual people when you're dealing with big government. But on a level like a city council, it's completely different. And having a peer is so important. And here's a perfect example of what I mean by that. As a ward representative, say, in the city of Pittsfield, one of the big issues that we've been talking about in Pittsfield forever is garbage, and different ways to get rid of the garbage. We do know we need to make changes. So that's been kicked around a lot. And one of the issues, like the toters, the mayor had a toter program. I was against her proposal, but I'm not against toters. I just didn't like that program. She had it where we were going to have to pay to outfit the trucks for the contractor, and I didn't like it. It was for a variety of reasons. I think there was one size container. But anyway, one of the big issues talked about from a lot of the ward councilors was, you know, well, I have a resident here named Mary, or say, and she's 86 years old, and the pitch on her driveway is really steep, and there's no way for her to pull that container up there. It's very personal when you're talking about city council politics and what a city councilor. The city councilors are they're the foot soldiers. They're the grunts of the government pole. And that's not meant in a bad way, but that's what they are. They're dealing with issues of who's not shoveling their sidewalk and tree limbs, or maybe neighbors fighting over a fence or something like that. And those issues, you kind of have to have a personal involvement. It helps. You know the people involved. You know the particular situation. You're dealing with individuals. And that's where it differs, from federal or state government, where you don't have to know your constituents on a personal level. You just got to do what's right. But I think for our seniors, having a senior on that city council is somebody who directly understands some of the exact issues affecting the senior community. And without that, I do feel like that's a form of ageism and not fair representation, just based off of the large senior population we have, and to not have one voice on there that is a peer to the seniors in this community. I just don't think that's right. So I hope a senior citizen, someone in their 62 and up, someone retired that has the time, the right, and all the knowledge to bring to the table, would be a huge asset to that council, and I hope that happens. And definitely, no offense to Chris Connell. Chris is a friend of mine, and I talk to Chris a lot, quite often, and we're not that far in age either. I'm flattered by the people that really think I'm like super young. I shouldn't say that, but to me it's super young. I get 30s all the time. This year for me, I'm officially an old person. I'll turn 50 this year. So Chris he's just one of my buddies. And speaking of that, let's get back to the city council stuff. And I've got a little bit of time I can focus on that. So one of the reasons I keep saying this year, and it's not personal, that I think we need to sweep that council, is because of all the drama. Drama. We've seen so much drama. It's gotten to the point, it's embarrassing. How could it get to this level? What the breaking point for me with the councilors fighting and arguing with each other and ganging up on each other is what they did to Chris Connell. And Chris Connell, the Ward 4 city councilor, and Chris is a friend of mine, but it's not like I go out golfing with Chris, but I do consider Chris a friend. I like Chris, and that situation, I knew Chris's personal situation with his mother, but what the city councilors did to him publicly was so wrong. That was a breaking point for me. It really was. That was so over the line. And I was worried about Chris as a friend. I was worried about his health. I thought, man, they're going to give this guy a heart attack. It is not worth it. What they did to him publicly, think about the stress that would put on anybody when, the next day one day you're on TV, you're in the paper, so you're on the internet, you're on cable, and you're in print, of basically shaming you. Some of the stuff, what they did to him, how, where are you sleeping at night? Who's your girlfriend? Where's she live? How many nights a week are you sleeping here or there? And, and this was a new relationship for Chris too, with his girlfriend. And I'm thinking, God, what are they trying to do? Destroy the guy's relationship also? To do that to somebody publicly, it was so over the line, and I thought illegal. Chris, God bless him. And Chris, forgive me for saying this, but I called Chris a couple days after that meeting, and I was concerned about him. I said, you all right, man? Because he handled that so calm. I don't know how he did it. And this was 2.5 hours they did that to him, and many of you, I'm sure, remember. And I was worried about him, and I said, Chris, I'll do a show on this. I'll have you on there. Let's talk about it. And he just wanted to let it go. He said, I don't think it's good for the city. I don't think it's good. It's over. Let's just move forward. And I was, when he said that, I was shocked, because that's way better of a man than I could have been in that situation. I think I would have, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have gotten an attorney. I wouldn't have answered those questions. They were so personal and not relevant, and the law clearly stated the definition of domicile. The law clearly, it even gives written examples on the state's website. So they're very specific about it, and for our city solicitor to go along with that, it was nauseating. So that's one of the reasons I say sweep the council. But that is it for now. I'm going to get into that in a video tomorrow. That'll be a whole new video. But I did want to get this video out today. Pay attention. People are popping up. Craig Benoit, it's official. He pulled papers. He's running at large. So that's another new one. And I'll put a full list out because there's quite a few that have announced. And we'll go over that. And but Craig is a good. Many of you remember about the shutdown of the restaurants. And I jumped on that and started covering that. I did the interviews with Craig, and he really took the reins on that. I don't know what happened, though. I want to find out what happened with the Restaurant Owners Association and all that stuff. I hope that's going. I want to be part of that. I know I don't own a restaurant, but I want to be, from a marketing point of view, I want to be involved in that. I think that's crazy not to develop that into a legit functioning group that has some power and is for the benefit of all the restaurants in the community. And there's restaurant owners I have to follow up with that I haven't been able to, that I haven't talked to in months, so I've got to get on that too. But anyways, pay attention to all that stuff. Take a look at Craig. I think he probably has a Facebook page and everything out by now. I hope he does. But I'll be in touch with him and see where he's at with that. And like I said, as it goes on, I'll start putting the candidates' names out as they pull nomination papers. So that is it for now. Everyone have a great Tuesday, and we'll follow up on this in another video tomorrow.